not a time-saving household appliance.
Monsignor Traub Lopez. In a moment, this week's audio pullout. Later in the programme, the other microphone will be used to interview a politician. And today's funny story. A rich man has bought an old lavatory. That's all coming up.
The Colour Supplement. 5 glossy minutes of radio for you to keep all week. The Colour Supplement.
A room of my own. Michael Hammond is serving 15 years in Wormwood Scrubs for having an Irish grandmother. He lives in a room as compact as it is subtly lit.
I think of this room as being very much my room, even though it's Barry's room as well, and Keith's, and Tim's, and Neil's. And usually we have Graham, the serial killer, in here as well, but he's in solitary at the moment for killing David, and Peter and Stephen. Well, they call it solitary, but there's 8 of them in there.
On the wall by the coyly petite window, an arresting mural of startling photographic images meets the eye.
Here, Barry cuts them out of his magazines. I used to have a postcard of Chartres Cathedral up there, but Barry took it down. He said there wasn't enough totty in it.
On the Victorian table stands Michael's kettle. Modernist in design, it is a stark chrome challenge to the past.
It's a stark chrome challenge to making tea as well. Hasn't been the same since Graham the serial killer hit George, Charlie, Terry, Mick, Keith, Bill, Ron, Brian and Rog over the head with it. They haven't been the same since either, come to think of it.
And next week, In My Pants Drawer, when award-winning playwright David Mamet analyses his underwear and explains why his brown and blue striped M&S Y-fronts have a special place in his heart.
And now, Cartoon Frolics with Peanuts, featuring good old Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown?
Yes, Linus?
Growing up is like a visit to the dentist. The pain of anticipation is naught compared to the agony of actuality.
Yeah, but there's no anesthetic for life.
This Peanuts cartoon is now available in the 517th Charles M. Schulz compilation, You're Not Funny Anymore, Charlie Brown.
Advertisement featured.
A marvellous collection of glass statuettes of British Prime Ministers. James Callaghan pictured here actual size. This limited edition of 150,000 statuettes was executed in individual lucite moulds. Order the first 5 statuettes now and receive absolutely free this beautiful porcelain Sir Alec Douglas Hume skull ashtray.
The Colour Supplement Celebrity Questionnaire. What is your name?
Keith Floyd, chef and bon vivant.
What is your favourite letter in the Greek alphabet?
Oh God, I love them all. Apart from pi. I suppose the best would have to be lambda. Oh, God knows I couldn't tell you why.
What is your favourite crop parasite?
The sarcoptic mange mite.
Which 13th century English bishop do you most admire?
Robert Grosseteste, Bishop of Lincoln.
And do you think anyone listening is seriously interested in any of your opinions about anything?
Good Lord. Tough one.
On the hour, the audio pullout is now complete.
Sorry, I was just having a rather funny conversation with the man at the third machine behind the glass about his front door. Welcome back to On the Hour. Reports coming up over the next 38 minutes. The St Thomas's cutlery dispute goes into its 7th day.
Well, it just seems an appalling way to react over 3/4.
And why the piano world has gone ape over Godfrey the chimpanzee.
I haven't seen anything like it. We just sat him on the stool and he started playing.
America now, and hysterical courtroom scenes as disgraced televangelist Jim Tubbard was sentenced to a total of 120 years imprisonment and 7 hours community service to run concurrently. Tubbard pleaded guilty to 3 counts of heinous embezzlement and 5 of agitated drug trafficking, but still maintained he was innocent because he had forgiven himself. Later, looking grey and ashen-faced, he emerged from the courtroom to greet his followers with a confession to further charges of bad parking and mass terrorism. Thousands of Tubbard supporters responded with cries of, "Never mind, Jim, have some more of our money."
On the hour.
Time now for further coverage of the hostage release story. Our man watching him arrive at RAF Neville is Malcolm Box.
And you join me here on the tarmac. The plane has landed and we can see the hostage. There he is. He might be about to emerge. With me is an ex-hostage. Now, I suppose he is more likely to emerge now than he was while the plane was flying.
Yes.
Now, we know there was food on the plane, a choice of chicken or pasta.
Yeah.
What is the more likely choice of a just having been released hostage? Well, in fact, we've implanted a camera in his stomach. The correct answer is chicken.
Chicken.
And there he is emerging. He's waving his arm. It's his right arm, in fact.
Hello.
Tell me, ex-hostage, is that the more usual choice of arm for a man just 6 hours out of a 5-year spell in a foreign jail?
I suppose it depends if he's right or left-handed.
Well, what a fine sense of humour you ex-hostages display in spite of the deep psychological scars which consign you to a future lifetime of torment and anguish. And there he descends now to meet the reception committee and a warm welcome from his friends and colleagues, who are, of course, journalists.
This beaver that's kept the vigil for 5 years. Do you want to lick her hip? Do you want to lick her hip?
Put your knob in a gob.
On the hour. Holding up a net in the strong breeze.
Finance news. The Minister for 11 says 7 today. Crawburn Knuckle 5, up plenty. Decisive ingrowth, Reben to half. And the FTSE index closed down, shut, finished, good. Trial news, and the trial's been going on today. A summary now from our man on the scene. About what time did the trial begin?
About 14:30 hours local. The judge was in attendance. He's a rather portly chap, about 75 years of age. Should be retired long ago.
What's the white line for?
Well, the white line's to guide him from the lost horizon to the far horizon, at the far end.
And the worm-shaped horse?
Very, very slow at the moment.
What do you make of the artist's drawings showing the proceedings today?
Absolutely abominable. I wouldn't put my grandmother's shirt on it.
Who exactly is on trial?
Well, I can't say really. It's all MI5. And the smaller ones are MI2.5.
Who did it?
We don't know. It could be Black Mike.
And the sentence?
5 years associated with England cricket team, with all fares paid, and a large amount of duty-free. He'll probably last about 2.5 years.
Will the guilty man step forward? The guns are loaded.
Hello, fall over here, 2 men, march this man away. Take him out of the dock. I don't want to be bothered.
On the hour, the time 50-50-50-50. And now our special report on caring in the community. What is it? What's happening to it? A report from Kevin Smear.
Tonight, On the Hour looks at care in the community. What is it? What's happening to it? Virginia Rumbelow, Junior Health Minister.
I'd like to think that we're taking care out of the public domain and into the private. We're giving people the right to care within their own homes. Now, I, personally, don't care, but that's my privilege.
I'm in the home of Lionel Cosgrove in Glossop in Sheffield, Derbyshire. Lionel, I believe this isn't the only home you've ever lived in.
I've had about 24 and about 12 this year. I was first moved when I was 12 and I'm now 14.
But I believe that the social services who have moved you are not, in fact, government-funded social services. Is this true?
They wear grey boiler suits and they're the men from Securicare.
Securicare made a very, very successful bid for the removal of children from home to home, and I hope very much that we have more businesses like this who will take it into their hands to say, yes, I feel I could move that child.
Yeah, well, they come in normally late at night and gag me so that my sobs and crying doesn't disturb people. I think that's quite a good idea. They then take me downstairs and just hit my foster parents a bit. I have to sign a form and give them £20, which is like the commission and their expenses and things. They then put me in the van and take me away.
An isolated incident or just the tip of the iceberg? Gordon Parnell is the chief warden of Fallen Leaves Residential Home for the Elderly in Preston. Mr. Parnell, how long have you been the warden here?
I've been